When I got sheep, I had to modify some of my equipment, stock equipment, livestock equipment that I had for cows to lower it down for sheep. I made a video on that. I'll link to that at the end of this. But so what I did, this is a mineral feeder. The rain stays off of it because as the wind's blowing from this direction, it'll go like this and shelter it from the wind, you know, whichever the way the wind's blowing. And even if it's blowing from the side, it has these sides on it. It does a pretty good job. Not perfect, pretty good job. Fill this with mineral, sac mineral. It's a dry mineral. I don't like the block. I don't even think you can find a block for sheep. I'm not sure, but for cows, block is just you know, it's some of the trace minerals, but I don't think, in fact, and the reason I don't think it's as good as a block is because I've read so much on it, and nobody just about thinks it's good enough. So so this is one of the things I had to modify. This is probably 20-25 years old, and what had happened, it was on skids. I just got through cultivating my garden, a little out of breath. It was on skids. I can't remember whether they were going this way or that way, but anyway, and they had pretty much rusted out, so I cut them off. And when I got the sheep, I was going to use this for a mineral feeder, and I said, well, just since the skids are rusted now, why not just cut them off? So you know, so it'll be lower for the sheep to get to. So I did. And by the way, I had to come in here and do some welding yesterday on it to hold it together. The salt in that mineral really rusts out your stuff, so be aware of that. But anyway, now I've got a surprise for you, and I'm getting some animals that are a little taller than sheep. So I want to, I came in here and I'm gonna have to use something else for the sheep minerals, and I'll show you that in another video. But this, I wanted to raise it up. Sheep cannot eat the same mineral as a cow eats, or even a goat. Cow mineral, goat mineral has copper in it. Copper is toxic in large amounts. It builds up in their systems and can be toxic to sheep. So you gotta, if you're gonna buy food for your sheep, if you're gonna buy mineral for your sheep, make sure it says sheep on there. Anyway, so what I did, I just needed to extend the legs on this. The cows are tall enough they can get in it now, and it's about 3 feet to that right there, and then about a 10 or 12 inch drop down into the trough. But that should be, it's taller than it was from when I bought it from the factory, but I need to keep my sheep out of it, and I'm hoping the height combined with they'd have to stand up and put their head way down in it. I don't think the sheep are going to be able to get in it, especially if I leave some mineral out there just for them and not let the cows get in that. So what I did, long story short, I went back to my scrap pile. Yeah, buddy, I've got a scrap pile. And I found an old trampoline frame that my brother gave me 20 years ago when his kids outgrew it. And of course you can see it's curved. It's not the fisheye of the camera, that's curved because it's a trampoline. It's the outside ring of a trampoline. This had some stabilizers on it, so I had to bypass those. That leg right there comes down to about right there, probably. That's where I cut it off. It was longer than that, like I say, originally. Rusted out, I cut it off for the sheep. And so I just got that yesterday, just went out there and looking for something, looking for some pipe that would fit over this pipe, and this one just fit right on top of it. But I need to leave that stabilizer in there, so I just drilled a hole right there and then cut down there, cut down there, and slid right in, punched a hole in it and a screw in it. And so I've now got a tall, once again, a tall mineral feeder. So again, just repurposing a cow mineral feeder for a sheep mineral feeder back to a cow mineral feeder. I hope that makes some semblance of sense to you. Also, one of the reasons I put screws in it instead of welding it, put screws in it right there instead of welding it, is because now it's convertible. If I decide to go back and use it for sheep, don't have cows, want to go back to sheep, then all I gotta do is pull the screw out, take the trampoline doodads off, and we're back to having a lower one. There it is in action, wind blowing. Anyway, repurposing, welding up on it because it was, the salt had just about corroded it. It's not run. It's got a few more years left in it. I'm gonna get all milk, all the goodie out of this I can do. Those things are several $100s. All right, thought I'd show it to you. Talk too long. There we go. We gone.